More Perfect Union is basically a labor news outlet, and they're doing a phenomenal job. By the way, I think the person who started it is, we had him on Crystal Island, friends. It's Faz Shakir, former Bernie campaign manager. So everybody go subscribe to More Perfect Union on YouTube. Go follow them on Twitter. Seriously, you won't regret it. You'll be up to date on what's happening with labor and unions and workers in America all the time. Well, they got an exclusive here. There are 2 Amazon workers who died after being denied sick leave, and they died on the job. This is crazy. Let's watch, and then we'll talk about it.
A man in my department, now he worked the night shift, so it was before the day shift, which I worked day shift. He had died on the job.
Apparently he had a stroke and died inside the trailer. From my understanding, he was inside the trailer for probably 20 minutes before someone realized they hadn't seen him and went in the trailer and found him on the floor dead.
He had gone to HR and said, "I'm not feeling so well. Can I please go home?" Because, you know, a lot of folks, even myself, we don't even have enough UPT, which is unpaid time off, right? And if you go negative, they'll get rid of you like that. And so a lot of people are terrified of that. And this dude, he didn't have enough to go home. And so what HR told him was, you're just gonna have to speak to management and see what they can do. And just, you know, go back to your station and figure things out. I guess he spoke to his manager, and his manager told him the same message, that you just don't have enough UPT. And so they're effectively telling him it's either you go home and lose your job, or you just stay here and keep working through the pain. And that's what he did.
He was not supposed to be in a trailer by himself. They always supposed to be someone in the trailer or at the end of the trailer to keep an eye on you, just in case something falls on you. And he was in there by himself. So that, we all know, was wrong.
On the day that this man had passed, his ship docked, there was another person who had to be put in an ambulance.
They brought a wheelchair, wheeled him to the front where fire truck and ambulance was waiting for him, and they took him to the hospital, and he passed. So that was 2 people passed away in less than 6 hours. They actually come around and tell people not to talk about it and to go back to work.
A coworker of mine, he went up to this one manager and asked him, like, what happened with the man who had passed away. Management told him straight to his face, "I don't know what you're talking about." That's the most disrespectful thing on the planet. Like, why would you say something like that?
There's no shutdown, there's no moment of silence, there's no time to sit and have a prayer. A couple of people that worked directly with him or knew him good was badly shaken up. A couple of them wanted to go home and were not allowed to go home.
It's very possible these people would be alive if they were allowed to go home or go to the doctor because they felt sick. That's very possible. But they didn't. They died. In fact, what'd they say? 6 people died? But 2 of them were on the... 2 of them... This is the same day, by the way. 2 of them were on the job, and they were not allowed to go, even though they felt terrible. Look, call it what it is, man. In no real sense of the term do you have freedom if you can't even say, hey, I don't feel good, I want to go home. It's wage slavery in a sense, isn't it? It's very similar to like indentured servitude is what we're looking at here. We like to think of ourselves as a totally modern industrial nation where, you know, people are free to make whatever choices they want. Well, those people, if they really had the freedom, would have went home or would have went to the doctor, would have went to the hospital, something. And perhaps they'd be alive. It's a crime, the labor protections and labor standards in this country. It really is. Let me tell you. So, paid sick leave. Here are countries that have, and this isn't even all of them, but I'll give you some of them, paid sick leave by law. So in other words, if you go to your employer and say, I don't feel good, I'm going home, they are legally not allowed to tell you, no, you can't go back to work, or no, let me talk to somebody higher up the chain than me. They can't do that. You say, look, I don't feel good, I gotta go. They go, okay. They don't have a choice. Switzerland, Norway, Luxembourg, Iceland, Greece, Germany, Belgium, Austria, Australia, Finland, Sweden, Netherlands, Denmark, New Zealand, Japan, Spain, Italy, France, Canada, Ireland, UK. That's not even all of them. I'm just giving you some of them. There's that amazing chart that we always used to show on the show. Paid vacation time by law. Virtually every other country in the world, certainly every other developed country, has paid vacation time by law. So again, you work it out with whoever your boss is, whoever the owner is, and you say, I'm taking off. I'm taking a vacation. Maybe there's a little give and take in terms of what the dates are or whatever. You got to figure it out. But you have paid vacation time by law. It works differently in different countries too, by the way. In some countries, it's paid by the government. In some countries, it's paid by the companies. And I think in many, it's a hybrid of the two. They pick up your paycheck while you're not there. There's another way in which we're just absolutely screwed. Workers in this country get treated like garbage. Did you know? So another one, paid maternity leave. We talk about that all the time, right? The United States is one of like 3 countries in the entire world that don't have paid maternity leave by law. Papua New Guinea is one of the others. U.S. and Papua New Guinea, which, by the way, is very, very, very underdeveloped, needless to say. No paid sick days by law, no paid vacation days by law, no paid holidays by law, no paid maternity leave, no paid paternity leave. We even have countries that are now experimenting with a 4-day work week. I know there was a pilot program in Spain. That was one place. New Zealand is testing it out. Iceland is testing it out. Apparently, a 4-day work week is the norm in Iceland. That's according to 85% of workers in Iceland have the option of working just 4 days a week. That's an article in CNBC from July 12th, 2021. So we have countries doing 4-day work weeks. We have virtually every other country has paid vacation time by law, paid holidays by law, paid sick time, paid maternity leave, paid paternity leave. And we don't have any of that. And we work incredibly long hours for terrible pay. And we just got the news that billionaires just got $1 trillion richer during the pandemic, or it may have even been in just the last year. Just saw that a couple days ago. And we get stories like this. I mean, look, this is something that could have come out of the Industrial Revolution era. You know, this story. 2 Amazon workers die on the same day, and they were denied sick leave. Forget even paid sick leave. Unpaid sick leave they were denied. Unpaid sick leave. So you can't even say, hey, I want to go home. I don't feel well, but, you know, it's okay. You don't even have to pay me, so I'll take the hit, but I want to go home. I don't feel well. If you're not mad, you're not paying attention. And there is no aspect of conservative philosophy that's going to get you out of this. Because even if it's libertarian conservatism, Ron Paul style, well, they think, the owner has the say. You work for the owner, and whatever the owner says goes. And if they want to fire you because you felt sick and you wanted to go home and they don't want you to go home, they could fire you for that. Is that the ideology that's going to save us? Is standard Republican ideology going to save us here when they always side with the managers? Now, is the Democratic Party going to save us when we had these ideas on the table and it was axed by Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema casually? A leftist approach is the only way out of this. At the very least, a social democratic approach is the only way out of this. You need worker solidarity. You need pressure on the government. You need unions. Unions make it much more likely that you're going to get some paid time off and some paid sick leave because they negotiate the contracts with management. It's called collective bargaining. You and everybody you work with gets together and says, look, you need all of us. And we're all one. We stand here in solidarity with each other. So here are our demands. And there's a give and take and there's a negotiation. But you know what? You're going to have better terms than you have right now. And this was in the Bessemer, Alabama warehouse where Amazon cheated to defeat a union. And now they just ordered, National Labor Relations Board just ordered a new election there because Amazon cheated. There are almost no words for how preposterous and evil this situation is. But look, final point, don't get it twisted. We love to talk about the virtues of political democracy in this country. But clearly in the workplace, it ain't no democracy. It's a tyranny. It's a dictatorship. And so we need to do everything in our power to drag this country to sanity in the workplace. More collective bargaining, more democracy in the workplace, more rules that are beneficial for the working class, that make it so you're not wasting your life at a company that doesn't care about you, that would sooner see you die than let you go home and take a little break. Rest in peace to these people. I mean, it is absolutely a nightmare that this happened. Credit to More Perfect Union for shedding light on this story. And where are you, national media? Where are you? Where are you? Is this not a story that's worth covering? Amazon didn't let people go home when they felt sick, and then 2 of them died on the same day. Is that not interesting enough for you? Is that not sensationalist enough for you? Or is mainstream media largely working on behalf of their big corporate advertisers, and so they side with management? That's the reality. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.